angry.
Very excited to welcome for the first time to Studio 2A. Here's JuJu Fontaine.
So long,
gone on the world. Don't need to hear it from you. Tell you not the first when you say it's true. So all the lives that I had lived, loves every version of myself that I will give. The address is everyone that I've received. Tries to right the wrongs that I believe. My center, my calm center. I feel better, so much better after all the lives I live. After all the lives I live, after all the lives I live, I kinda feel like me. I feel like me. We paid the fines, my things came to collect. Just the way the hands around my neck. When in a cold sweat I swung, he absorbed the blows. 6 foot somebody bends down to my load. Said I don't need a savior, I'm hated without no man. Said I don't wanna take me behavior, I'm just trying to understand. So far the lives that I have lived, loves every version of myself that I will give. The address is everyone that I've received. Tries to right the wrongs that I believe. myriad endearing analogies. You know I'm too restless to adhere to one thing. Maybe I crave mass appeal, but before this day it's too precious. I don't need to be tried. You always know just what I mean. I couldn't know it if I had to, but I don't want to do life without you. I couldn't know it if I had to. I don't want to do life without you.
You're tuned into Studio 2A here on KXCI. This is Locals Only. My name's Matt Milner, and I'm so pleased to be with you tonight. And I'm joined live right here in studio with JuJu Fontaine. How French do you like to pronounce it? Do you like to really lay on like the Fontaine or like Fontaine, like Vince Fontaine? Like
yeah,
which
more
one do you
like
go
the
with?
American like Fontaine. And it's funny because like I had to learn French pronunciation like when I was in music school. So, but no, I just JuJu Fontaine, like American.
Love it. Makes it easier on us. So I'm live in Studio 2A with JuJu Fontaine. And why don't we start off with introductions? Let us know who you are, what you're playing tonight.
I'm Gabby. I'm the singer, songwriter, guitarist.
My name's Isaac. I hit things and count to 4.
My name's John. I play bass.
And here you are. So this is an exciting week, and let's just start at the beginning, I guess. We'll get to the EP, but I want to go back in time. So tell me about the origin of this project.
So this started as one of the most recent iterations of my own solo project, which I've always kind of been solo. I'm a very like solitary musician, and I was finally like, all right, I need to collaborate. So I tried working with like a few other people. And finally, I was like, I don't need other guitarists. I don't need anything. Just right now, I need a drummer. So I put a call out for a drummer, and then Isaac sends me this long, like, professional letter offering to audition for me. And I was like, sure, I'll let you audition for me. I have no other prospects. And so he auditioned, and immediately we like started getting gigs. Things were going well, and then we got a call from John Reed, and he's like, hey, I want to play bass with you guys. And like once I found out who he was, I was like, dope, this guy wants to play with us. And here we are, like a few months later, after like the three of us have finally come together.
So the songs that you're performing tonight and that are on the EP, are most of these songs that predated the creation of this trio?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I started writing some of this stuff like year and a half ago when I was trying to work with somebody else. And I wrote it hoping that I would eventually have a band. And then once they filled it in, that kind of made it really come to life.
So what was the journey from starting to work on these songs a couple of years ago to getting into the studio and starting to record the EP?
It was a lot of lot of open mics, I didn't know anybody, and like even just within the last year, I've pretty much met everyone in the music scene here. But like a year ago, I knew nothing and no one in Tucson. Like I'm not from here, so I just started hustling, doing a bunch of like open mic nights, like getting in contact with like anyone I knew, and yeah, it's been a lot of like hard work and dead ends, and then finally like once I finally like gave in and decided to like collaborate, like things started working out.
So if you're not from Tucson, where were you before that?
I lived in Orange County for like 5 years. That was where I went to school. I'm from New Mexico originally, but it was super boring in Orange County, and there was like no music scene there that I could find at least. So I randomly like came to Tucson on a whim, and it worked out.
And I'm curious, going first to the Isaac connection. So when you drafted this long and apparently quite persuasive letter, what did you know about Gabby's music? Why were you interested in playing with her?
I was just cruising Instagram, and then I've been following her because a friend of ours, her photographer for the first bit of the things that she took, I followed her through him because I liked the pictures. They were phenomenally well put together, and just scrolling through Instagram, I seen that, hey, I'm looking for a drummer, and I've been wanting to play drums just in a band forever. I've always been a guitarist or bassist or something else, never had an opportunity to just sit here and do this. So I was like, now's my time to shine. So I've been doing music forever, so professionalism and the bare minimum of professionalism when communicating with other musicians is sort of a lost art. It seems when I've talked to some people, especially Craigslist people. Those
Isaac's
are fun.
very good at it.
It was like 3 paragraphs. I sent a sonic resume, and I kind of just was like, well, we'll see what happens. And then she the way she replied was like, oh yeah, I'll put you in line. We'll see where you can fit you in. It was great.
I had to make it seem like I was hard to get.
And John, how did you enter the fold?
I read an article about them, and it sounded really cool. So I checked out some stuff that I saw on YouTube, and I was immediately blown away by Miss Montoya's voice. And I noticed they were a duo, meaning there was no existing bass players. It was a little bit easier for me to just kind of like say, hey guys, you want to try some bass? And they're like, yeah, cool. And that's where I find myself now.
It's been a lot easier having the low end because we were kind of faking it with having her run through 2 amps at the same time, like a bass amp and then her regular one.
Yeah.
So we were like a 2 1/10 band as opposed to just a duo. But since Sean's come in, it's filled out her sound tremendously.
Yeah, he was kind of like, you need me. And I was like, you're right, we do need you. We just haven't got around to looking for you yet, but here
for
you
the
are.
record, that was never said.
I'm paraphrasing.
She's paraphrasing.
Did you tell him that he could come and rehearse and then just like play like loops of really good bass players like behind a closed door or something before you invited him in? Were there any mind games?
We just put up posters of Geddy Lee and Flea and just like looking at him wistfully, then looking back at him.
Right.
Actually, I told them they had other people that they had to check out first.
No, but it's true. We did need a bass player. We were just like too lazy to look for one. So like, thank goodness that John came to us, or else we might still be a duo with me running through a bass amp.
We were like neck deep in recording for the bulk of the time that Gabby and I have been together.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
honestly, it's not lazy. It's just we literally didn't have time outside of playing and recording to like divert our attention to finding the third piece.
Yeah.
Sure. So during our next break, we'll talk more about the actual recording process. But before we do that, just want to remind folks that the EP release show is coming up on Friday at the Flycatcher. Is that right?
Yes.
With the band M. Crane opening up. And if folks are by any chance not able to make it out in person to get a copy of the album, what's the best way to either purchase the music online or just keep track of upcoming show details and things like that?
JuJu Fontaine on Bandcamp is where you can pre-order everything. We're on Facebook as JuJu Fontaine, Instagram JuJu Fontaine Music. We are so good at, like, so meticulous about staying updated on social media that it's kind of gross. But if you look up JuJu Fontaine, I promise you will find us.
There you go. All right, so we're going to get back into the music here with JuJu Fontaine live in Studio 2A here on Locals Only, 91.3 KXCI Tucson. You're tuned into 91.3 KXCI Tucson. My name is Matt Milner, and we are live in Studio 2A with JuJu Fontaine. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
So the EP release show Friday night at the Flycatcher. I want to talk a little bit about the recording process. So where did you record the album?
One Red Fox Studios. Isaac, he's a, I don't know if I would call you an amateur recording engineer. Are you? Would you say amateur? Or?
Yeah, because technically I don't have a piece of paper telling me I know what I'm doing, and any critiques and ridicule can be pointed at me. In fact, it's his fault. It's fine. I got my first 4-track recorder and guitar for my 8th birthday, and I haven't stopped since. I've recorded probably 50 different bands, ones I've been in, ones I've played with. Yeah. Just something I've done and don't see myself stopping doing. But
I'm really sorry.
This was a good way to get the ball rolling for us to have something tangible, because a lot of the stuff she had out before was just demos and stuff to give another band an idea of what you want to play, not something you put out. I think that even though it is kind of amateur-y, it's definitely well enough to get us noticed in a way that's not negative. It was an arduous process because both of us have to work full time, and this is obviously a side thing because we're not paying bills with this.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a passion project in the highest order, but it was.
Yeah, we were like, this could take, 1 month tops? And
6 months later.
Yeah, we both work 10, 11 hours a day. So it took a while, but, it was worth it. It came out, waiting a while and just, listening and, filling things out kind of helped it become more what I wanted it to be. So, in the end, it worked out. It just took a really long time. But it helped so much having somebody who knew what they were doing. And, to be able to record your first, full EP for free was so much of a help. So that was, a huge upside. But it came out great. I'm really proud of what he did.
Now, did you lay down tracks for a bunch of songs and then kind of whittle it down to what you liked the best, or were you focused in on 4 or 5 songs from the beginning that you knew were going to be the final product?
No, we had a good idea of what we wanted on there. There was actually more that I wanted, but I was then it's going to be too weird between an EP and a full album. But there's so much material we have that we still want to really develop before doing the full album. So we did have stuff that we were all right, we just need to pick simple 5-song EP and just get something out there now before we have a full body of work to show people.
Sure. So once again, Friday night at the Flycatchers, the EP release for the album, and I'm also. One thing I'm curious about is just to get a sense for how these songs were shaped by the recording process, because for a project that was relatively young when you started working on recording, I'm curious, whether these songs, as you perform them live now, have really evolved and been shaped by the process of going in the studio. Or do you consider the live product and the studio product to be two kind of totally different beasts?
No, it was a whole different thing before Isaac was playing drums, at all. But as I said, I had kind of, written everything, with an eventual drummer in mind. So I already kind of had it, there. But, once he came in, he inevitably kind of, threw his own thing in there. And, there were some things that, really just, came to life once I had him. And there were some things that we, fought tooth and nail over. Because I had my idea of, what it sounds like in my head. That's what it is. That's what it's going to be. Just play what I want you to play. The thing that's in my head. And, of course, it, doesn't work like that. Apparently, he's not my dancing monkey. So, yeah, we, there was a lot of, arguing over certain things. And, you have to compromise. If you want another person to work with you, you have to, compromise. So some things definitely got changed a little, but, the core of my songs and the heart of my songs is still there, and now it just even has more life. So I ain't mad about it.
It was an adventure taking all of that, essentially free verse songwriting and making it coalesce into a structure. Because one of the songs we played, 2468, she changes time signatures on a syllable. I had to practice to the demo of it for probably a month before I figured out she changes on an F. She changes on an F. Okay, I can figure this out now. And it was because of all of her non-linear songwriting and all of the songs built in an environment of only her being her only
Sure,
influence.
sure.
It was fun trying to find my way through those influences to make it to play to the song, not to try and steal the limelight, but to play along with her. It's fun to play musical drums.
That was why I hired him, because he could play that song. I was like, this is gonna make it or break it. If you can like switch between like 2/4 and 6/8 constantly between like during a song like that, then like you're my drummer and everything else will work out. And he like did it. It was like more like a few weeks when you had like the base of it, so that was impressive. But yeah, it's been a process.
What's also been impressive is how fast John's picked this up. Gabby writes by the pound. She doesn't write nice, simple songs, and the fact that John was able to pick it up in a couple weeks in time for a show. And
I just joined him like a week ago.
Yeah, no, they're both very impressive, because what Isaac understood about me right away is I'm classically trained, so I studied all of these like ginormous like pieces of music and was like, I'm not gonna write in the typical like verse chorus like pop style. I'm gonna do what I want like a real composer. So I kind of do, but it's hard for other people, it turns out. And both of them have done a really good job of trying to like watch me and figure out what the heck I'm doing at any given moment. So that's great.
So, once again, Friday night, December 1st at the Flycatcher is the release show for the brand new JuJu Fontaine EP, and you can find more information on their Bandcamp page as well. And with that, I think we're going to slip back into our final set of music, but I want to thank all three of you so much for...
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. So, JuJu Fontaine live in Studio 2A here on Locals Only.
Even though that I do the me there. I'm not your doll. I'm not shaking, hiding behind your invisible wall. Remove your dirty little paws if you wanna keep them. Either you or I will withdraw. Confess your demons before I leak them. You are not my man. You're not a good man. You're not the man to me. No, no, no. You are not my man. You're a bad, bad man. Gonna make everyone see what I see. Confess your demons before I leak them. This kind of sludge spewing, blatant hating is unprecedented. Keep flapping your jaws and maybe we can get you unprecedented. Been picking on our patent, raped and brown skin sisters, and we listened while they lamented. Will you be smirking on your guilty throne when you're overthrown by the losers you resented? You are not my man, you're not a good man. You're not the man to me, no, no, no. You are not my man, you're a bad, bad man. Gonna make everyone see what I see. Confess your demons before I leak them. You're not my ruler and you're not my king. You know you're not the president of me. No, no, no. You're not my ruler and you're not my king. You know you're not the president of me. No, no. You're not my president. White House illegal resident. You're not my president. You're not my president. White House illegal resident. You're not my president. You were not my man. You're not a good man. You're not the man to me. No, no, no. You were not my man. You're a bad, bad man. Gonna make everyone see what I see. Confess your demons before I leak them. My lover left me for San Francisco. But me, I need the desert sun, where your non-foreign boys can never seem to drink it in the way they're sucking down this desert honey skin. Kept on crossing one night through the line to lie together. My moonlight collide.